supposed to joust the next day. I think it was the second pass back because I went one direction, I came back the other way. It was all in his head that he had just hurt this other guy, I guess. So the first time was a fluke. It just bounced off the armor wrong. The second time, he just hit me directly in the nuts. So I got hit in the right testicle with a lance, direct shot. And then I was super lucky because there's actually a video somewhere on the internet. I don't know if it was on the show. So the lance breaks off on my testicle. It just snaps off. If it hadn't broke, I probably would be sitting here talking to you about how I lost one. So of course, this is an excruciating pain. And I start screaming, he hit me in the effing balls. And the coach is like, what's happened? I'm like, he hit me in the nuts. So they pull me off the horse, and the doctor comes over to look at it. There's a giant hole in my right breeches from where the lance went in. And I'm like, is it okay? And he's like, it's not good. I'm like, what? Thanks, doc. Like, you're the worst bedside manner ever. So they put me in an ambulance, and I'm going to the hospital. Meanwhile, this is on October 31st is the day they filmed it. So it's Halloween. Don't ever joust on Halloween. It's bad luck. So I'm going to the hospital, and the lady says, what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm like, it's a solid 9 right now, lady. Like, whatever. So they give you morphine or something. So I was feeling a little better. And they call in to the hospital, and they say, we have a man en route with a laceration to his testicles from a lance. I was like, well, you're never going to say that on the radio ever again. So I go to the hospital, and they're asking me all the questions. They're like, oh, sir, how are you allergic to anything? And I'm like, penicillin and lances, because now I think I'm hilarious, So, and the people are laughing. The camera guys try not to laugh. They're like, how tall are you? I'm like 6'4", 6'8" on the weekend when I wear high heels. And so they're like, oh, you think you're pretty funny, huh? You think you're funny today? That must be working. I'm like, I'm funny every day. So they send me in the back. A guy comes in and says, we can't do any anesthesia because of where it is. So then you just, use the little fish hook and stitches them back together. So that was a good time. And so I basically just went back and started writing again then like a day later or something, just because that's what we had to do. We were on a show. So yeah, that was my close call. The first time I ever unhorsed somebody was one of my coaches, and I actually broke my hand. I didn't go to the doctor at the time because I didn't want them to tell me I couldn't do the show. So when I went back later, they x-rayed my hand, and actually same thing like what happened with her. It's just, that whole old kickboxers rebuild bone. Like the back of my hand has lumps where my bones were cracked, but they formed calcium and actually are stronger now. So, but yeah, it's pretty dangerous. Literally everyone that's ever, that's done this for a long time has had some serious injuries. Some of the worst are whenever you get hit low blows, broken hands. Everybody's had one of those. A guy got a lance through his eye. It went under his eyeball.
I was there for that one. There's a good picture.
He got really lucky. It went like under his eye. So he's literally like his eyes open with a giant piece of wood sticking out, like a giant splinter under his eyeball. He was very, very lucky he didn't lose an eye.
He doesn't joust anymore.
Yeah, he quit. So most people quit whenever this stuff happens to you. Only the really stupid ones or brave ones like ourselves continue to do it. But yeah, passionate, whatever. Yeah, a lot of people quit. You get a certain amount of concussions. It's not good for you. So I try to keep that to a minimum, and because you just see all the stuff now with the football players in the NFL. So I have a few friends that have kind of quit because the amount of concussions that you're at risk for getting, can cause serious health issues later down the road.
So I want to say one thing to you. You must have balls of steel now.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what I say. I'm like, well, I must have balls of steel. They broke a lance. Like.